Hey, and welcome back to TellSamyra. So today's video is about friends don't understand narcissistic abuse. They just don't. No matter how you might want them to validate you, tell you that it's okay to go no contact with your family or to go little contact with your family, they are not going to get it unless they have been the victims of narcissistic abuse, or either they've had some type of parent that was an alcoholic or on substance abuse. Nothing you can say is going to make them get it. So please, please, please finish the rest of this video so you can stop making yourself suffer. Your friends, yes, they love you. Yes, they care. They want to see the best for you. Hopefully, if you selected the right friends, they do. But they just don't get it. So you can't make them. One of the reasons that they don't get it is because of the whole thing about mother worship. And I've only lived long term in America, so I don't know if this mother worship is big in other countries, but here it is big. Mother's Day outweighs Father's Day. There is no getting around that. People are buying cars, Hallmark cars. They're filling up restaurants. They're doing everything for Mother's Day. The father could barely get a good tie or a nice little cheap watch. People are not obsessed with the fathers. And of course, the mother nourished them. That connection, that bond in the womb with the mother, people are not going to get it. The thing is, you can tell your friends about your mom. They will minimize it, telling you that, oh, I think she means well. They may say things to you like, oh, you should just get past it. And you could have been telling this friend for 10, 15 years about the abuse. They could even see the abuse, but they won't dare, most of them that I've seen, they won't dare say one negative thing about your parent. They might just say, oh, that was sad. But as soon as you start talking about, well, I don't think I want to talk to this person, or I don't think I want to go over there for so-and-so's birthday, I don't want to be around them, they'll start telling you stuff like they've not seen or heard you talk about this craziness. They'll start encouraging, oh, well, why you think you want to do that? And you may think to that, looking at that friend like, what the heck? You've seen, you've heard, and you asking me why? And it sort of puts you in a bad position, because it's like you're getting re-traumatized because you have these people who may actually mean you well, acting as if you're crazy, something's wrong with the way you're thinking, and that you should just be okay with what's going on with you. And you may not even know that you're in an abusive situation or have been abused, but you know something is not right, and it causes you to start doubting yourself. You're like, well, all these people around who normally give me good advice about other stuff, now they're telling me that I should just like move on, that I should go ahead and keep going over to my parents' house, even though it's very toxic. They make me feel bad. They steal money from me. They make up schemes to get money. They laugh when I do bad, and they're always smirking behind my back, telling people I'm crazy. And you start to question yourself, well, is it really something wrong with me? And you don't have that inner that inner value. You don't know that you're valuable because you've grown up in a toxic or narcissistic household. So you were taught that, more than likely taught that what you think does not matter anyway. So when people around you start saying that, you're like, well, dang, my caretakers told me that I wasn't really that good. Now even my good friends are telling me that something is wrong with the way I think, and it just causes a lot of doubt. So yeah, you have to be cautious because of this whole money worship thing, and then for the nerve of a friend to tell you that you're going to be regretted when your parents die, that's because they really have strong relationships with their parents, and they know that they will take it bad if they die. So they assume that everybody's going to take it bad if their parents die. That's not necessarily the case. First of all, none of us have a magic ball, and we can't project ourselves into the future to see how we're going to behave when our parents die. So we have to realize that there's some Ted Bundys out in this world, and some crazy people, and some of those type of people, the narcissists, the psychopaths, the antisocial, some of us have those for parents. So not all of us are going out to rush to get Mother's Day, Father's Day cards, if you celebrate that, not all of us may be tearing up. And if you do tear up at the funeral, it might be for relief that you're happy that the this evil person who's caused so much damage in your life is actually out of this world. So, you know, these are just crazy things that your friends may throw at you. Also, because some of your friends or the people that you're trying to explain about this abuse, if it's a woman, she may have her own insecurities about being a parent. So when you're talking about your crazy mom, or you know, this person is thinking, oh, and they may not be consciously thinking, it might be more unconscious, that they have these insecurities about being a mom. And so now they're thinking, oh my God, somebody's attacking moms. You know, I myself worry about being a good enough mother. I worry if I'm doing enough. Am I putting my kids in the right type of schools? Am I preventing them from danger? So you're talking about that, and it's bringing up all this crazy stuff into your woman friend, and she can't handle it. So she doesn't want to have to deal with that, because now you're pushing at her button. So she's not thinking, I want to be a good friend for my friend. It's about her at that moment, and you can't blame her because she hasn't dealt with her own issues. So now she's like, no, you know, don't say that about your mom. Your mom has done her best. I know your mom just loves you. Really what she means is that she doesn't want negativity about herself out there, because she is doing the best she can, and she is trying to sacrifice for her kids, but not understanding your point of view, because not every mom wants to do what's best for their kids. The narcissist is totally self-involved, totally wants to do, wants everything to revolve around them, does not want their kids in some instances to do better than them because they're seriously jealous and competitive. These people are evil people, the things that they decide to do. And let me clarify that. I believe that there's some darkness, there's some evil in all of us, but the difference between a person that has some darkness and some light is the person that's full of the darkness. You know, they decide that they want to act on the evil. I'm not going to lie, and it's easy to lie to ourselves and say, oh no, it's just the narcissist, they're just the evil ones, I don't have any evil. How can people be wicked? How can they do this, and this? My thing is that we have to start to see the darkness in all of us. You know, it's naive just to think that there's no darkness in us. You know, depending on the situation, we can become killers. We can do some scandalous things. You know, if you don't have any money, no way to get food, you're going to do what you need to do to feed yourself, feed your kids, even if it's against the law. So all of us, even if you want to be in denial of that, have a tendency to do some evil, and we have done some evil. But the narcissist has tapped into their darker side. Not saying that they can't ever do something that's nice or something that's considered quote unquote good, but a lot of that is because they're trying to see what they can get out of it. How can they manipulate somebody else? So yes, all of us have that dark tendency within us. So going back to that insecure mom, you know, she's not able to tap into that darkness that's happening to you because you just triggered something in her. Another thing is that some of our friends might have been abused or just come from unhealthy background. So if they haven't dealt with that, you can't expect them to understand and deal with yours. Because, for instance, I used to have a friend who I would always tell about what was going on in my family. This is before I knew it was narcissistic abuse. I knew it was emotional abuse. I learned that when I was like 7th, 8th grade. How did I learn about emotional abuse? I don't know. But I knew something was wrong. So I would tell my friend, she'd be like, oh, wow, interesting. You know, but then I know that anytime I would try to talk about, you know, I don't think I want to talk to them anymore. I don't think this. I was looking for her to validate me because so many people had told me that I was wrong and I need to maintain that relationship, telling me, oh, you study psychology, you should know how to behave with that. Well, anyone who knows and studies psychology, it's easier to be able to spot the flaws in other people's life and be able to know how they can improve to meet their goals. But it's not so easy when it's your own life because you're too close up in it. Like your life is all in your face like this and you can't see what's going on because it's your freaking life, you know? So But yeah, this friend, I started to notice the way that she interacted with our own parents. It was always when they come around, oh, mommy, daddy. And we're like really grown older women. And I used to notice that, like, wow, anytime I hear this person talking to her parents, it's like she's regressed to like a 5-year-old. But I wouldn't point that out to her. And how can I expect her to have been able to help me? And I also got mad at this person. Like, is this person trying to set me up for failure? Do they want to see me fail and be stupid all my life? Why keep telling me to stay in an abusive type of relationship, even if it is with my mother? But looking back on it, that person had an unhealthy parent who was very nasty, very dismissive, and like I said, the friend was totally like a 5-year-old in their presence, so she couldn't even see her own life. For her to admit that I had been abused and what was going on with me was wrong would have meant that she'd have to deal with her own insecurities, why she wanted to continue to be an infant when she was a grown woman in front of her parents. She wasn't ready to deal with that, so she couldn't hear me. And that's just is what it is. Sometimes we put too much pressure on our friends. We want them to be our counselor and to have all this insight when truly they don't have it for their own lives. So we can't put that pressure on them. You can put the pressure on them, but then you're just going to end up disappointed because they're not going to give you what you need. Truly, you know what's best for you. If you're in that relationship, something in your gut is telling you this isn't right. It's happened 1, 2, 3, a million times, and you keep thinking that it's a cycle, like domestic violence will, that cycle of abuse. It's a cycle. One moment your narcissistic parent may be nice, then they go back to the evil, then nice, then evil, and the nice is always in there so they can manipulate you to make you think things are going to change. You're hoping for hope, and that hope never comes. They're always going to continue to be who they are. Some people want to know how to coexist, how to be with the narcissist. The only way you're going to coexist and be with them is to continue to be a victim, not understanding that you play a part in this. And I'm talking to myself too, because those of us that have constantly been abused by other people, and even by our parents, when we've grown, when you're a child, there's nothing you can do and you can't really understand because you're thinking something's wrong with you. But once you get older and this abuse continues to happen to you in different relationships, you have to understand you're the common denominator. Why is it, and what is it about you or me that causes us to continually be abused? What are we doing? A lot of times it's not having boundaries, just not sticking up for ourselves, saying what I want, what I will allow, what I won't allow, and then also digging up a piece of that badass within you where you're saying, look, I'm going to first let you know something is wrong verbally, and then if something happens and if it becomes physical, but then it is, you got to be ready to be with whatever's coming up. So you got to dig in yourself and stop being so harmless and trying to take on that, well, I'm nice and I'm kind and I'm just an empath. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with being an empath, but when you're calling yourself all these things, to me, it sort of minimizes and takes away the beast within. The thing is that yes, you can be nice sometimes, but then sometimes you can be a badass. Yes, I can be empathic sometimes, but sometimes I can be a badass. You got to dig in to that and to release that inner beast or that inner darkness within you to combat it. And when I say all this, how it relates to friends, because if they haven't tapped into themselves, they're not fully integrated, meaning the good within them and the darker side is not integrated to a person who can stand up and to be bold, you can't expect them to give that to you. Also, people have a little concept of evil, your friends. They may not believe evil exists. They may be the kind of person that thinks that everything is relative. There's no just black and, white. There's good people and good deeds in everybody. This is just totally foolish. If you have grown up in a narcissistic household, evil because evil came at you on a daily basis. You've seen the fruits of evil, but people who have not, they don't have that understanding. Even with church people, they can talk to you about, oh, did you forgive? Did you forgive? The way to handle that, even with your church friends, is to let them know, forgiveness is a personal matter, and I choose not to discuss it. And if they keep going on, just continue with being a broken record, repeating. That means repeating yourself over and over, no matter what they say. Well, you know, God wants you to forgive. Oh, you know, and even some non-church people even talk to you about forgiveness. But you should forgive. You got to dig deep down. Did you forgive? You just keep repeating the same thing. Forgiveness is personal. Forgiveness is personal. Forgiveness is personal. And if they keep on with it after you said that 3 times, walk away. I wouldn't even say anything because they're disrespecting you. Don't worry about disrespecting them. They've already disrespected you. Walk away. It's nobody's business if you forgive them. They need to understand that they need to take control of their own life and look for areas that they need to forgive. I'm always kind of cautious of people always. And I've had this happen with a lot of well-meaning friends. Well, did you forgive? Ain't none of your damn business if I forgave somebody. That's between me and God. I haven't told anybody that yet, but that's my practice to tell people in the future. And especially with church people, they talk to you about forgiveness, but not understand that even Jesus said that he came to bring the sword, that mother would be separated from daughter, father against son, daughter-in-law against mother-in-law. He came to bring division. So if you're living your life in trying to walk toward light, meaning you still got some dark in you, but you're trying and you're stopping yourself from acting upon it most times. You know, you're trying to be on that path of light. There is an evil seed of people who they don't care about the light. They're just really about them. They don't care who they have to succor, to do evil to. And then they feel empowered because they're like, yeah, you're dumb, I'm smart, and I'm going to continue to do dumb things to you because you deserve it, because you're naive and you don't get that I'm trying to do evil stuff. You don't realize there's evil in the world. And a lot of times with some church people, that's what it is. But I am grateful that my last church I attended, I did find a few people there who was able to that helped me validate myself, because I wasn't strong enough to really do it at the time, to say that yes, there are some evil people in the world, and yes, you're doing the right thing. Separate yourself from them. I wasn't being taught to about evil. Of course, there were some people who did, but those who understood the concept of evil was like, nah, you don't need that. And again, I was happy for that validation, but we have to get to the point where we know what we know and we validate ourselves, meaning that I don't need other people to tell me I can separate or I can go low contact with a narcissist. I know what I've been through, and I tell myself that I am right. You got to learn to trust your gut and go with that. Because friends will lead you astray. You will still be in a you will still be in an abusive relationship with this narcissist, waiting on your friends to tell you that you're right. Meantime, they're divorcing people. They're ending relationship with friends. They're doing what they need to do. And guess what? They're not consulting you, because really they don't care about what you think. They may ask you, but in the end, they're going to do what is best for them. So take on that same model. Why are you allowing them to tell you what you need to do? You need to stay, but this same person divorcing somebody. Well, what happened to that preaching about staying? They ain't even staying in their own marriage, but they're telling you, you need to stay. Don't that sound crazy to you? Sound crazy to me. Or I had another friend, you know, I'm going to say a well-meaning friend. If you're watching, love you, boo. But this is true. You know, the individual was like, oh, maybe you need to call your mom or something that happened when I first went no contact. You know, I had my mother make wreaths for people, and I lied to her and told her that other people were requesting that she make the wreaths, because she kept asking me for money. And I'm thinking, okay, if I'm going to be giving you some money, I'm not just going to set it up where you're going to call me all the time for money. I'm going to make you think that people are having you make wreaths. Really, that was codependent. It was stupid. But at the time, I was wrapped up into the craziness and didn't understand narcissism. So eventually, when I cut my mother off, she still had one wreath that she didn't, that I needed her to send out. Well, she waited until almost the end of the December, before Christmas. This was when I was celebrating Christmas at the time, and to send this woman a wreath. So my friend tells me, oh, Samyra, she finally sent it. I'm like, she was supposed to send it like before Thanksgiving. She was like, but that don't matter. She sent it. You should just forgive her. You should just talk to your mom. But then eventually the same person now end up cutting off their sister, and it was just like point blank, I cut them off. But I'm like, well, why are you telling me I need to resume contact, but now you cut off a relationship with your family member. So what, you want me to be stupid while you do what's best for you? But so I don't understand why people do that. And I should have talked to that friend. So that's why I said I love you, boo. We can talk about it later if you watching. But yeah, so but yeah, I don't understand. But maybe the person thought that she was just being well-meaning. But the thing is, I think we need to tell people the truth when we come to them, not just trying to be, oh, the nice, and I want to spin it in a nice, good way. No, it's time to be real with people we say our friends, because sometimes people are insecure and are really dependent on you as a friend to say something, but we're trying to be, oh, I want to be nice, I want to be loving. Forget that. But yeah, so sometimes you're just going to get this bad advice from friends, you know. Also, they'll sometimes accuse you of exaggerating if they don't understand evil, because they're like, well, nobody is purposely wanting to see their children fail. Nobody would want to misuse or take advantage or try to steal money or come up with medical issues just to try to get money out of their kids, or nobody would purposely try to make you fail and try to cause you not to do your best and try to put insecurities in you, questioning the way you look, questioning your size, questioning your hair, your makeup, pointing out any imperfection that may be on your skin, you know, laughing behind your back, going around the family telling them to watch out for you, something's wrong with you, they don't know what happened to you, oh, you're not like them, where'd you come from, all these kind of crazy making things. They can't understand because they probably didn't go through that kind of stuff. So and also, some people are predators. You know, you may meet new friends and think that you need to tell them all about your life, to be authentic, to keep it 100. Really, all of us wear a mask in some type of way, and you got to learn to perfect that mask, meaning that let people prove themselves that they are trustworthy and honest before you start telling them all your business. You know, you could be meeting people who are narcissistic and you don't know it, because a narcissist usually starts off very nice, very charming, you know, very great and charismatic, and you're like, ooh, I want to be around this person, the life of the party, seems very confident, outgoing, woo, I want to be around that, you know. And the thing is that it takes a while for them to truly show who they are. So before they can show you who they are, you're telling them all about your business, so, and how you've been traumatizing a victim. And the thing is, that reflects upon you, and you know, in people's eyes, like, wow, what about you is constantly being abused? Okay, that shows me you're likely naive, you don't understand that there's evil in this world, you're a pushover, you don't stand up for yourself. And a predator is thinking, great, I can have you do whatever I want you to do, I can control what you look like, I control what you watch, I can control what you do, because you got a history of just being a doormat, you know. So you're giving these people ammunition, even going out on dates with a new friend who may be of the opposite sex, and you're telling this person, no, day 1 or day 5 and even day 30, all about your abuse. You don't have to do that. There's ways and solutions to the problems. It's learning to keep your mouth shut, learning to be a sort of perfecting to be a mystery, not letting everybody know everything that's going on about you, because you can become boring real fast in romantic relationships and even just friendships. It's like, there's nothing new about you. I know everything about you in 3 days, or I know all about you as a friend, and you know, in 1 month, you know, people, what my practice now is, because I used to be that one that would tell everything, you know, if someone asked, well, where's your family, or how's your relation? Oh, we don't get along, you know, they're this, they're that, and you know, I don't contact. But now it's different. It's like, oh, last time we talked, that's fine, that's very vague. Last time we talked, you don't know, it's been 3-4 years, you know. Last time we talked, oh, they were fine, you know. Or how is your relationship? Oh, I'm sure it's just about as good as anybody else's relationship, you know. Saying little things like that, where you're not revealing everything. Once you find out that this person may understand you, and you feel that this is what you want to open up, that's totally fine. But not every friend needs to know about those little details in your life. And if you decide to open up to someone and tell them, about your family, then be careful when you do. Notice what's going on, because if they're saying things to you, well, maybe do you think you're exaggerating? That lets you know, change the conversation. They say something to you, well, maybe it was not that bad. Oh, I'm sure she just really loved you and just didn't know to show it. Oh, I'm sure she means the best and misses you. Don't you think that since you're the daughter, you should be the one to make up to her, because she's probably older and more stubborn and not going to get it? Stuff like that lets you know that this person really may mean you well in life, but they don't get the narcissism. So you should back off. If people are like, well, most people are really good deep down, maybe this your mom or maybe your dad was abused, you need to back off. My thing is if you can let on little stuff just to see how this person would react to abuse, like on TV, to say something like, wow, if you watch your Mommy Dears, it's sad that there's more mothers out there like that than we think. That has to suck for a kid. Try to see what this person is going to say, not just always giving your all. And even sometimes with new friends, sometimes people will try to test you to see how much you're going to tell them, especially if they're a predator. They may start talking about some bad childhoods and things like that, and you may be so used to saying, oh yes, that was me and my child. No, just hold yourself back and just be like, oh wow, that stuff that happened to you. It's not being, really authentic to just, as we used to call it in the old days, spill your beans, meaning telling everything. Sometimes it's virtue in just being able to say, I don't have to tell everybody all my life. And that does not mean that I'm lying, that I'm holding back. It just means that I am not trying to re-traumatize myself, because I don't really know who this person is. A lot of people in this country don't get narcissism, so it's best to hold myself back. I'd love to hear what you have to say in the comments. Please like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and please, like I said, let me know what you think on this topic of friends don't understand narcissistic abuse. Have you had this happen to you? And I'd love to hear what you have to say. Bye.